अभी तो 13 होंगे।
In Mumbai, Tejas Mehta for NDTV.
And after this Sena stunner for the NDA, we asked tonight first Nitish Kumar, now Uddhav Thackeray, is Modi further dividing the NDA? Joining us on our discussion tonight, Rahul Narvekar of the Shiv Sena, Sudhanshu Trivedi, spokesperson for the BJP, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi of the Congress, also joined tonight by Minhaz Merchant and R.T. Jairat, both senior journalists and columnists. But let me begin with the Shiv Sena. Rahul Narvekar, there seems to be, in a sense, almost a cry of desperation from the Shiv Sena. Do you now believe that the NDA as it exists at the moment with three parties really has no hope of winning the 2014 elections?
Well, you need to be very practical when you're approaching elections. You cannot live in a fool's paradise. You need to realize that the UPA or the NDA as they stand today, neither of them are in a position to get a simple majority in the parliament, and therefore it's very essential that we rope in as many allies as possible, and that's the condition with both the primary groups in this in the national political arena. And therefore all that we have appealed to the Bharatiya Janata Party is that this is time for us to consolidate and get into our fold as many allies as possible. At the end of the day, this is going to be an election which will depend a lot on the allies, and national parties, as I see, will have a limited role to play, and that's all that has been suggested. At no point of time has the Samna editorial or Shri Uddhavji Thackeray criticized any particular leadership within the BJP or NDA. In fact, it has gone ahead to state that Mr. Modi has the capacity and capabilities of being a strong leader, and therefore he should use these resources to rope in as many allies as possible.
Let me quote from that editorial, Mr. Narvekar. Friends have to be nurtured for years with trust and service. They're not like seasonal crops that can be plucked when needed. Sudhanshu Trivedi, a little ironic on a day when your former ally Nitish Kumar said, if I open my mouth, many BJP people are going to be in trouble.
This is the personal view of Mr. Nitish Kumar. I do not know what he wants to say. As far as the context of Shiv Sena is concerned, I want to say that Shiv Sena is our longest and trusted ally. Shiv Sena BJP alliance came in 1989. I think 50% of India, who is below the age of 25 years, has only seen the BJP Shiv Sena alliance in their memories. But what Mr. Uddhav Thackeray has said, definitely as a true friend, as a true well-wisher and as a brother, his concern is but natural that how we will form the government. So we welcome his suggestions, and as far as BJP is concerned, we tried our level best to intact the NDA. You remember that our leader Mr. Rajnath Singh and Srimati Sushma Swaraj both have said that departing of JDU from NDA was an unfortunate event. But somehow it happened, but we are confident that pre-poll and post-poll.
Who is the NDA going to reach out to?
Yeah, I am saying that pre-poll and post-poll, considering both the scenarios, we are confident that we will be able to expand the NDA.
Well, we heard your party president say that we are 3 now, we will be 13 later. Would you like to enumerate those 13 for us?
No, I just would like to give you an example. In 1996, we were 161. We were not having any ally. In 1998, when we were 182, we were having 24 allies. So it is a matter of strength. So that's why I am saying we will try to get new allies pre-poll and both post-poll. Definitely we will be able to expand the NDA.
R.T. Jairat, come in at this point. The Samna editorial today seemed to take up a lot of issues, even going so far as to say the NDA convener's post was now meaningless, that it was, what was the job of the NDA convener to call allies to tea, and with 2 allies really, that wouldn't be a very large tea party either. Yeah. Where are these allies then?
No, it was quite a scathing editorial actually, and I think it's so ironic that just yesterday Narendra Modi talked about unifying hearts and minds at this rally in Punjab, and his elevation has reminded us again what a divisive figure he is. He's divided the BJP, he split the NDA, and now Uddhav Thackeray too. Probably he's not going to walk out of the NDA, unlike Nitish. But he's sounded a very clear warning bell for the BJP. And, that's a reality check. I don't know whether the BJP seems to be living in some kind of bubble. I don't know where they think they're going to get the seats from. And, Mr. Trivedi is talking about 1996. Well, history doesn't repeat itself all the time. And in 1996, 1998, they had a leader like Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who was, you know, a giant of a man, who had been in Parliament for 50 years, who had personal relationships with, you know, a whole range of leaders across the political spectrum. I don't think Narendra Modi compares to Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Sudhanshu Trivedi, respond to that. In fact,
you know,
Uddhav Thackeray also making a point about Jayalalitha being a personal friend of Modi's, but that wouldn't necessarily mean that she would join hands with the NDA. Where are these allies then that you hope to reach out to?
I don't want to compare any two leaders. And as far as the allies are concerned, I told you, whenever you come with a proper strength, you become the single largest party. So many allies came. I would like to give an example, another. In 1995 in Bihar, BJP was having 41 MLAs and Samata Party, that is the previous form of JDU, was having just 7 MLAs. So it was BJP which has tried to nurture this alliance for 17 years. And I would also like to remind, in Bihar Assembly, prior to this JDU-BJP alliance government, for entire 15 years of Lalu rule, the leader of the opposition post was with BJP. And in 2000, when we were having 67 MLAs and JDU was having 44 MLAs, still we made Nitish Kumar Chief Minister. So what is being said, it is true, and we have tried to perform it with a true spirit. But unfortunately, if something happens and some type of questions raised which are beyond the, you can say, the duty or perception of the Gathbandhan Dharma, coalition Dharma.
What exactly is that? You're saying you have nurtured a friend for over 17 years. Then what really is at the crux of all this? Is it Narendra Modi himself who's become an election issue himself?
I would like to say, as far as this 2002 rights is concerned, it was never an issue in NDA. Except for Mr. Ram Vilas Paswan, who has immediately resigned after 2002 rights. After in the last 11 years, nobody, even those who have deserted us in 2004, whether it was DMK or Chandrababu Naidu, they have not made it an issue. Or those who have deserted us in 2009, whether it was Biju Janata Dal or Chautala, they have never made it an issue. So we were also surprised that within NDA, how this thing came after 11 years. So I don't know, it is for JDU to answer that how they have got this thing, or you can say, like our president has said today, that they have become victim to this type of disease which is called secularitis in Indian politics.
Dr. Singh, we come in at this point. Has the JDU become a victim to secularitis, as Rajnath Singh says? Also, has Narendra Modi really become an election issue himself ahead of 2014?
You see, your program is pegged on a question which the Shiv Sena asked in Samana, and to that question which you repeated just now to the BJP, all you have received is resounding silence. That question remains unanswered. Now that question is not asked only by the Shiv Sena, it has started being asked first within the narrowest circle of the BJP, then in the larger circle of the NDA, and third and most important, it will be asked repeatedly up to the run-up to the elections by the country. I find deafening silence is the answer. Why? Because there can be no answer. Let's be frank. Let's look at pre-election and even post-election. Let's look at the most optimistic figures which this magical miracle wand of Mr. Modi is supposed to be getting the BJP. Does the BJP really live in cloud cuckoo land to believe? Let us look at allies across India. Who is going to be joining this bandwagon of the Modi bandwagon? Is Mamata, pre or post, given an electoral profile, interested in joining this polarizing figure? Given the electoral profile, is for that matter Mr. Patnaik of the BJD? Do you really think so? Does anybody in the country think so? Nitish Kumar we know already. Farooq Abdullah of NC. Let us look at one of the oldest allies, the erstwhile Mr. Naidu. Is he going to, with his political profile, electoral profile, going to be wanting to join a figure like Mr. Modi? It's a very spurious comparison to look at 1998 or 2000 and 1999, because the whole point is that this divisiveness has started in a big way only after Modi. There was no Modi in 98. The whole question is Modi the person who is going to be leading BJP and the NDA to this great mythical magical victory? And I think that question is a question which ultimately I don't have to answer. It's a question which the BJP has asked, remain unanswered. It's the question which the NDA has asked, remain unanswered. It's the question the country is asking, which is remaining unanswered.
Well, I think we need responses both from the BJP and the Shiv Sena to that. Sudhanshu Trivedi, yes, you want to make a point, go ahead.
The question which Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi has raised, it is having two dimensions. One regarding past and one regarding present. Regarding past, if he's saying that in 1998 there was nobody like Modi, if you look at the newspapers and the magazines which the articles they were writing in the 90s, they were writing more harsh language and terming as a more right-wing Hindu fundamentalist party in 90s than they do it today. And the second thing, in the present context, he is saying that from where the allies will come, if you look all the Indian states from north to south, most of the regional parties which are on the rise are having their area, you can say, interest of conflict with the Congress in their regional politics or in the state politics. So in my opinion, in post-poll, most of the parties will not be in a position easily to support a Congress-led government because of their political interest in their home state. So I don't want to get into the details of those things, but if you look at the analysis of the present situation, the present situation gives a clear-cut anti-Congress.
Dr. Singhvi, is that a fair assessment? Yes, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, go ahead.
In fact, that's the precise point. He's only reinforcing my precise point. By the way, in my list of Mamata, BJD, Nitish Kumar, Farooq Abdullah, Naidu, I forgot to add the SP and the BSP. Possibly I can also add the DMK. Now, I haven't given the full list, and please keep in mind the electoral background and profile of these parties. Let me address the point raised just now by the BJP. It is precisely because political differences, and Congress is a pan-India party, and Congress is therefore bound to have a conflict with regional parties because it is a pan-India party which fights for space in the regions. But a political difference is always capable of merging into a coalition alliance pre or post-poll. A fundamental ideological difference based on radically different electoral profiles cannot be bridged.
Ideological differences cannot be breached. Minhaj Merchant
between me and any other party can be breached. But an ideological fundamental difference given the votes which bring these regional parties to power is unbridgeable.
Okay, fundamental ideological differences. Now, Minhaj Merchant, the departure of the JDO has already meant that a sixth of the BJP-led NDA, in a sense, has been lost to the NDA, if I can put it in those terms. Going forward from here, really, we come back to that question, who then are the allies that they're going to be reaching out to? And in a situation where the BJP has to go on its own, if it does Narendra Modi's charisma carry the day for them? Can it do so?
I think, Ankita, you've got to be very careful about understanding that you have a party strategy and you have an ally strategy. It's a great myth that if you have lots of small allies, you can reach the figure of 272 easily. I think it's much, much more important today to be able to strengthen your party internally so that you can reach a threshold, a critical mass, as it were, of 180 or 190 seats, and then you coalesce allies around you. I think it's a completely wrong strategy to talk about getting 10 allies, and you must remember that the total number of Congress allies even today, numerically, is about 20 or 25 seats in the Lok Sabha. The total numerical BJP allies and the NDA is today about 20 or 21 seats. There's not much of a difference. So when you talk of 2 or 3 allies, which are the SS and SAD and possibly the HJC of Haryana, it's about 20 seats in all. So you're looking at 20 seats for the NDA, and you'd be surprised to know, I'm sure you've thought about this, that the UPA has, the Congress does not have a single ally.
So are you saying then perhaps that it's time to look beyond coalition politics for the BJP?
Absolutely. I think, Ankita, you've got to look at strengthening your own party. I mean, this is an obvious strategy. You've got to look inside, and then after you strengthen your own party, got your own vote share up from 19% or 18.80% of 2009 up to about 23 or 24%, which was there in 1998 and 1999 for the BJP, which translates into 180, 185 seats. Then you look at the ally strategy. And when people say where the numbers going to come from, You break up, you've got to do it in a modular fashion.
Yeah,
North,
Arti,
west,
come in at this point.
center.
You know, I
and if
just
you look
want
at the
to point
mathematics, I don't
out
know if
that
you have the
in
time, but it's clear. If
No, I think, you know,
Arti, can I just complete for a
I think
minute?
we need to look at our history a little more closely. In 1998 and 1999, the BJP already had a fair number of allies on board, which is how the BJP's seat share and vote share increased between 1996 and 1998 and 1999. They were not fighting with just two allies as they were in 1996. So I think that it is very important. Of course, it's important to have, you know, to build, to strengthen your party. But in today's day and age, it is also important to have allies on board. And in any case, as far as the BJP is concerned, its national footprint is actually shrinking. They're losing in Karnataka, you know, where they're so
and Mr.
down
Yediyurappa doesn't look to be a potential ally.
And down in the dumps in UP. I mean, over the years they've really shrunk, and to hand Narendra Modi this task of building up the party on the eve of an election. I mean, it's a stupendous task for Narendra Modi.
The shrinking of the UPA when they have not a single alliance partner with more than 9 seats. I mean, the total number of UPA allies is less than 25 seats mathematically, which is the same as the NDA's allies, and people don't understand that. You know, it's extraordinary how much of a mythology has been built up around these allies. You know, every opinion poll today is suggesting that the BJP will get 145 seats with Mr. Advani or Sushma Swaraj as leader, or an anodyne leader. Now, you've got to bump that up from 145 seats to 185, and one way in which you can do that is with a strong leader.
Rahul Narvekar, respond to that. You know, do you agree with that sort of assessment, or do you feel that it's critical at this point for the NDA to broaden their ally base?
See, it is certainly not impossible for the NDA to broaden its ally base, and they can certainly do it. We can certainly do it. But the leader of the pack, I mean, it's the NDA. In the NDA, it's the BJP, which is the major stakeholder. Therefore, the policies within the BJP are certainly going to reflect on the entire alliance equation. Therefore, it's very crucial that BJP introspects within its internal matters, within its policies with regards to allies regionally, and that will make a marked difference. I was also hearing Mr. AVSEQ03 very carefully, and he said he didn't want to enumerate the entire list. In fact, it would be better that he doesn't enumerate the entire list, because then he would have to eat his own words. These allies which he says will certainly not join the BJP, at some point of time have been with the BJP, and more recently they have walked out of the UPA. So there's a bigger concern for the UPA than the NDA as to how they would rope in these allies, whether it's the TMC, whether it's the DMK, or whether it's their own associate, Jagan Mohan Reddy.
There's going to be a concern cutting across the coalition lines then?
Yeah, I think that misses the point completely. In fact, it makes my point. This program is discussing the topic which is relevant today, namely whether Mr. Modi, as the leader of the pack, has the capacity to act as a magnet. Now, the point I have made, which has just been reinforced by Mr. Narvekar, although quite unknowingly and unintentionally, is that Mr. Modi is not going to act as a magnet. He is going to act as an anti-magnet. He is going to repulse them. That's the issue we are discussing. Number 2, given the law of probability, the chances of many of the names I have taken being in alliance with us than with the Modi-led party is a 9-to-1 ratio. Point number 3, I think we have to recognize candidly a reality, and the reality is simply this, that neither the Congress nor the BJP, whatever we might say in various forms, can make the government itself. Almost certainly not. So alliances are vital, they are important. It's no point pumping yourself up, as somebody put it, from 145 to 185 if in the process of trying to pump yourself up you lose 40, no, not 40 but 60 seats elsewhere through alliances.
So Rashid Trivedi, respond to that. Is the BJP's Narendra Modi mantra then not working?
The program is Mr. Modi being a repulsing factor, not an attracting magnet.
I would like to remind one fact in this context, that in 1998 we haven't gone to election in the form of NDA. We got 250 seat BJP plus allies. BJP was having 182, and other than Shiv Sena and Akali Dal, Jayalalitha was having around 30 seats. If you delete those 30 seats, we were having just 4 or 5 allies. It was the after 1998 when we formed the government, then this NDA was formed, and in 1999 we have gone to election with the NDA formation and with the NDA agenda. So my pretension is, it is not always necessary that you go with the pre-poll so many alliances. There is a strong chances of so many post-poll alliances coming. So that's why I said both pre-poll and post-poll we are confident of expanding NDA.
All right, we'll have to leave it there tonight. Thank you all for joining us. The Shiv Sena saying today the BJP can't win with just us. It was honest confessions time. We haven't really heard very much in response from the BJP today. But we'll take a very quick break at this point. Still ahead, though, a furious debate about a new UK policy to charge a bond for visitors from South Asia. Is that policy discriminatory at the very least? We'll get you more on that in a moment.